May, Assemblyman Salka, Sheriff Hood, members of the Board of Supervisors that are here. I want to thank our planning department for laying out what we've done to the property and our buildings and grounds crew with John Reagan. And most of all, I'd like to thank Harold and Barbara Jones for their generous donation to make this possible for Madison County. Harold, his education, he's a PhD in Spanish literature from Princeton University in 1968. His AB in Spanish literature from Brown University in 1962. He is corresponding member of the Hispanic Society of America, elected in 1981. His grants include the John Simon Guggenheim Fellowship, the Fulbright Scholarship, Fellowship from National Endowment of the Humanities, grants from the American Council of Education. His career, Professor Jones has taught at Syracuse University from 1968 to May 2011, McAllister College, the University of Missouri, and the University of Houston. And Harold and Barbara have a long and rich history of giving back to the communities that they serve, and we certainly thank them. It's a rarity to have folks like that, and we certainly appreciate everything they've done for Madison County and this beautiful property that they've given us. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Christensen, our associate planner and our planning.
Thank you, John. Kind of the story of how it happened. About 3 years ago, I got a call from our regional director of state parks, Rob Hildebrand. He'd been contacted by Doreen Allen, who's the previous owner of this property, and she said that she was thinking about selling the property and would like it to go into public ownership. And Rob contacted me because the planning department takes care of our county parks, and this is in Madison County. So we tried to set up a time to come look at it, but we had no idea what was here. I think we waited probably 6 months before I could get a hold of Doreen. She went south, I believe, for the winter, and it was the following spring. Finally decided we just needed to go out and look at it, and she invited us in. I walked through that front door. I got about halfway through the house. I'm going to turn around because we saw that. When I saw that, I almost instantly set a goal in my mind: we have to make this happen. Okay, and then it was the worry of how do we do that. We're so thankful that the Allen family, first of all, offered it, and Lindy, her daughter, is here today, offered it for public ownership, giving us the chance to make it happen. And Bill, I didn't see you back there either. Bill's also here. So, trying to come up with the funding, talking to the Board of Supervisors, letting them know we found this place. As they came out, everyone was like, yes, you guys need to make this happen. So along the way, I ran into Alan Olmstead, just called me out of the blue and said, he knows this person that might be able to help with this, Harold Jones. And I said to him, I know that name. Is this the same Harold Jones that donated the Audubon prints in the village of Manlius? And it is. And we got together. Harold looked at the place, saw the same thing that we're seeing back there, and helped the county immensely. So I personally want to thank you, first of all, for that goal that I set for myself to make this happen. A pretty lofty goal. Thank you for helping me reach that. It's now a county park. And thank you from the county. And the people in the county, central New York, and beyond will be using this for a very long time. So thank you, Harold.
Next, we'll have Scott Ingmeyer from Planning.
We're looking for your vote.
Thank you very much. My name is Scott Ingmeyer with Madison County Planning and Workforce Development. Had the honor to work on this project the last couple of years. And what we wanted to do is just get a little preview of what's to come. We acquired this park in May of last year, opened it to the public in August of last year, essentially as it was. We had assistance from highway and maintenance, buildings and grounds, to put in the walkway that you see here, obviously it's heavily used. One of the goals for this for us was to have an ADA accessible access to the falls, which uniquely this property offers, and so that was kind of our first push. From that time, we applied for a grant through the state, through the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation. If you're follow, or if you go on Facebook or Google, this place now has a lot of postings about it, and everyone loves the space and they want more. And so we talked about how can we make that happen. And so our goal, obviously the lower falls here are what we can all see, but there is an amazing and beautiful upper falls that is really not accessible to most of us now, though that certainly I think people have made their way up there. But our goal was to find a consulting firm, environmental firm that could help us do that, keeping the character of the park and the place, but also making it accessible. And so we hired EDR consultants out of Syracuse. They put this sort of initial plan together for us, and their main focus now is really on developing and designing the trails that are going to bring folks up to the upper falls. Our plans, as you can see on this map, are a trail on both sides of the gorge to take you up to the falls. There's a number of overlooks that are going to be accessible, and the additional part is that we'd like to make an improved viewing access area at the lower falls, both ADA accessible and accessible for everyone. So that's part of what we're designing now. Our plans for the funding, we got a $500,000 grant. We plan to implement that over the next couple of years. We're sort of in the paperwork and procedural phase of that, but it's our hope that the public will start seeing things happen on the ground level in the next couple of years. So stay tuned. Obviously there's much to be done here. We're just happy to have the opportunity to have opened it to the public thus far, and we really look forward and are excited about what's to come. So in the meantime, keep enjoying it. I think word has traveled, and certainly there's been a huge use out here, and so bear with us as we build what we hope will become a premier park for Central New York. So thank you. And obviously, as we've said, without it, Harold's assistance and help, this would not have been possible. So next, I'd like to introduce Jerome Mark Anto. For those of you that don't know him, he lived here, I think, from mid-40s to the mid-50s or so. He is an author, and he has written an exceptional book series that's centered just here. I think some of the book's characters are here with us today, and it's a unique opportunity, both people and places that link the books to where we are today. And I think as the story unfolds, the books are going to be a big part of it. Jerry's a big part of it. We're really honored to have him here today, so thank you.
This is fun. My mother always told me I was going to be a writer. She actually named me Jerome after the Saint Jerome, who was a librarian who converted the Bible and translated the Bible, and Mark after Mark Twain, who she read when she was 13 in 1914. My daughter was born when I was 42, and when she was 5 years old, I had split up with my wife, and my daughter got me on the phone. She had her grandma get me on the phone, and she said, "Daddy, I want you to promise me 3 things." I said, "Okay." She says, "Promise me that you'll never tell me a fib." And I says, "I promise." I said, "Be careful what you ask me, but I promise I'll never tell you a fib." And she was setting me up, because the next one was, "I promise that you'll never miss a visitation," which is every 2 weeks. I said, "I'll never miss one," and I never did. And then she said, "Promise me that you'll tell me about what it was like when you grew up." And I said, "I promise," because we were completely different generations. I grew up in the shadows of World War II with Randy Boss and Jimmy Conway and Jane and Janet. And so when I retired, I knew I was going to start by writing. And I began by writing the bedtime stories that I had told her. And when I was finished, she said, put them together. My wife encouraged me to put them together as a book. My daughter said, put them together as a book. And she said, start with the one where you run to the falls naked, thinking you're Superman and no one could see you. Which is a true story. And in second grade, and I came back and I popped in the house on 2 feet, and my mother and Mrs. Heffernan, my teacher, was sitting there having tea. But the point was, the more I wrote, the more Hemingway says, write only what you know. And the more I wrote, I found out that I grew up in one of the best childhoods you could possibly dream of in what I call the crown. Like my crown goes from Casanova to Delphi to Pompey Center to Shays Corner up to Pompey down to the Coulee Station, Lafayette, Tully, and across. That's my crown. And at that time there were 53 subsistence farmers raising about 3,000 cows. And the subsistence farmer had to farm to earn a living, to put food on the table. And that's the world I grew up in. I had no idea that my father and his partner, Albert Durkee at the Durkee's Bakery, were making 81,000 loaves of bread a day. I had no idea of what that meant. But we had got used bikes, and in the summer, when you turned 12 at this house, you had to pay rent. And the rent for the summer was half of what you earned, whatever it was. And I mowed the Maxwell corner for $1.50 a week, and my dad took 75 cents, went in the bank, of course, for my college. He put 8 kids through college, by the way. And you're never going to get any better than this for quality of life, for wholesomeness, for setting examples for the entire world. And so Hemingway said that the best writing is rewriting. So I had 3 books. My first book was called The Pompey Hollow Book Club. And the reason we named it the Pompey Hollow Book Club had nothing to do with books. It's so that parents would let us out of the house on what school meant and not ask questions. And then that took place in '49. And in '53, I had 3 books come out. And my writing mentor, when I started writing, I asked him, I said, when will I know I'm becoming a decent writer? He says, you'll be a good writer when you can write more dialogue than narrative. Narrative is once upon a time. Dialogue is starting out someone asking something. And I've gotten pretty good at that. So I took the 3 books that took place in 1953 that I've completely rewritten with all dialogue, with all the characters and dialogue. And they're coming out, it's called the Delphi Falls Trilogy, and they're coming out on Thanksgiving Day this year. And I feel good about them. But the richness of this whole environment can't be duplicated. And I'm just trying to set an example. As a matter of fact, I had my one book that involved Hemingway. We had the Gaines folks. We all know the Gaines folks up on the hill, the Pitt, Jackie Pitt, and Alva Pitt. And I said, I was very much moved when President Obama went to the lectern and said that he remembers as a senator walking across the street and hearing car doors lock. That's a pretty sad state, you know. And so I thought I'd write a book to try to raise the bar a little bit. And I did, so I called Jackie and Alva. I said, we grew up together. I said, what did we call you guys in those days? Was it colored? Was it Negro? She said, you know what she said? She said, you called us farmers. I said, that's right. And I said, and we mingled. She said, mingle? I'll send you a picture of we're riding on your cart down Delphi Falls Road in Memorial Day parade. And the point was, we didn't grow up with any of that. This was a whole different world. And so I think I captured it well, and you'll see it. But anyway, I just want to thank you for this. This is a spectacular thing you did. And this is going to go a long way to making a change in America. I really do. Okay? Thank you.
Gary's books are or he calls himself called Jerry, obviously why, you know. Jerry, I have a 24 and 22-year-old. What are you doing tomorrow morning? Because I want you to stop by my house and talk to him about paying the rent. Before we ask Harold to speak, I'm going to ask everybody to go down by the falls. We have something we'd like to present to Harold and Barbara and to Madison County, all the folks in Madison County. So before we ask you to speak, Harold, we're going to walk down here. Okay? All right. We have a little dedication plaque here. We're going to dedicate to Harold and from the falls. And we'll read it here. Go. The Delphi Falls Park, for the enjoyment for all. The park was made possible by a generous donation from Harold and Barbara Jones. May their legacy live forever in the beauty of this place. Harold,
I thought he was going to have a large crowd in there that he was going to have for dinner. Want me to say something?
you learned it.
Well, I thought a little bit before I came over about what I wanted to say, but it really seems to me that the waterfall says it all. I was going to talk about how we live in a fraught time. Jerry sort of talked about that a bit. There are difficulties politically, economically, socially, but there's nothing like a waterfall, particularly this waterfall, to give us some respite and some refreshment from what's going on in the rest of our lives. And I think it's a place of awe, a place of wonder, a place of joy, and a place of love. And I know that there's going to be future plans for many, many marriages to take place here, which I think is very appropriate. I personally believe that all human beings need to commune with nature in order to have full, rich lives. And I can't think of a better place to be able to do that on a regular basis than here. So I share this belief that this is going to become one of the premier attractions of Central New York, I believe. And I want to thank, even though everybody's been thanking me, I know many, many people have been involved in this process so far, and even the people that simply voted to let it happen. And I've been here a number of times, so I know how popular it is, even though it hasn't even been announced officially as open. So I'm very pleased. My wife's very pleased. She couldn't be here today. She has Alzheimer's, but she has supported all of our efforts passively by giving me the opportunity to do the kinds of things that I want to do. And I've done a number of kinds of things in terms of trying to buy land preserves for nature around this area, but this is my favorite project. Maybe the last is the stock market.